Welcome back to the Game Haus YouTube channel. With the recent announcement of the 222 locked meta for Overwatch League Season 2 Stage 4, today we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 teams that we believe would thrive in such a meta. Coming in at number 10, the CHENGDU Hunters. The CHENGDU Hunters played by far the most DPS heroes in Overwatch League thus far. Their compositions frequently revolve around Amling's sublime Wrecking Ball play, Jinmu's aggressive Pharah, HANGZHOU, and Genji play, followed by great supporting DPS play from Yang Xiaolong and Bacon Jack. The main question for CHENGDU in a 2-2-2 meta would be whether Amling's Orisa is strong enough to contend with top Overwatch League teams, and his lack of Winston playtime could be an exploitable weakness. At number 9, we have the Los Angeles Valiant. The LA Valiant have been rebounding significantly with the incorporation of Shaxx into the lineup, and Curve's stellar Ana play has opened up the Valiant to a variety of compositions, ranging from DPS heavy ones to Sombra Goats. In a 2-2-2 meta, the Valiant could continue their rebound with their variety of DPS players, with Space returning to the lineup with a stellar Diva play. However, Shaxx and KSF potential as a hitscan player on marquee heroes like Widowmaker and Tracer is relatively unproven. But if their play on these heroes goes strong, it's likely that the Valiant will continue their upwards trajectory going into Stage 4 and could certainly make the play-in tournament. At number 8, we have the Los Angeles Gladiators. The Gladiators have already proven their prowess this season through running a 3-3 meta and slightly off-meta situations. They have a deep DPS hero pool, and last season showed DPS prowess with a solid rotation between their 4 players, proving that with 3 now, which are Surefour, Hydration, and Decay, that they still have the coaching know-how in order to successfully rotate these pieces. The Gladiators just recently let Bishu go, but Void has become a solid off-tank who synergizes with Roar well, and they also have potentially the best Western support duo in the entire league in Shaz and Big Goose. The Gladiators have certainly had success before in a 2-2-2 meta, and will likely continue that trend now. Coming in at number 7, the Hangzhou Spark. With a 2-2-2 lock, the Hangzhou Spark will solidify their position as one of the strongest teams. Leading the charge, Guxua's Winston is redefining the limits of the hero's ultimate ability, Primal Rage, is capable of. Additionally, with a 2-2-2 lock, Godsby can finally flex his strong DPS heroes like Widowmaker, Genji, and Pharah, all staples in his Korean Overwatch career. Questions remain about certain players on Hangzhou, however, like IDK, whose Mercy play is relatively unknown. Next, at number 6, we have the San Francisco Shock. The Shock was arguably the strongest team in the league for much of the season. With the variety of DPS players available to the Shock with Architect, Rascal, Striker, and Sinatra, it is almost certain that the Shock will remain one of the top teams in the league. This combined DPS lineup allows the Shock to play virtually any composition. The main concerns for the Shock, however, lie in the support lineup. Violet has been a star support on Zenyatta in the Goats meta, however his Ana play has been limited and remains a variable in their play. Regardless, it is unlikely that the Shock will be a bad team in Stage 4. All that remains is whether or not the Shock will continue to be the completely dominant force they've shown themselves to be thus far. At number 5, we have the Vancouver Titans. With the Titans wounded in Stage 3 and the Stage 3 finals, expect a hungry team for revenge in Stage 4. The lineup, composed from the fan-favorite Runaway team in OGN's Apex tournament, and have been in several championship runs throughout Overwatch history. In a 2-2-2 meta, Haxel's Genji and Doomfist, as well as Stitch's McCree, Tracer, and Widowmaker, may return to the forefront, allowing the Vancouver Titans to reclaim their dominance. Whatever happens, Vancouver will surely be a team to watch in Stage 4. At number 4, coming in, is the New York Excelsior. The NYXL has failed to make it to a single stage final this season, and while they've made it to every stage playoff, it's a far cry from their dominant Season 1 performance. In a 2-2-2 lock, their 5 DPS players of Pine, Libero, Nene, Sebiolbi, and Flower mean that they have a buffet of options to explore when it comes to DPS players, and they will almost certainly have a chance to return to the forefront of the Overwatch League, regardless of what the meta shakes out to be. Taking the bronze medal of this list will be the Philadelphia Fusion. The Fusion have floundered in the Goats meta, looking an extremely different team from their powerhouse run of Season 1. Often revolving around Carpe failed in the more teamwork-oriented meta of Stage 2. In Stage 4, however, a return to DPS play will allow EQO's flexibility on a wide variety of heroes to shine, and Carpe's clutch factor on his signature Tracer and Widowmaker will allow Philly to reclaim some of the magic that took them to the finals last year. The next team on this list was the grand final champions of last year, the London Spitfire. Our Season 1 champions have looked relatively good for most of Season 2, but with a 2-2-2 lock, the London Spitfire look poised to make a return to the forefront. While never a truly dominant team throughout their history in the Overwatch League, as well as their precursor teams of GC Busan and CHENGDU Panthera in Korea, the players of London Spitfire have always turned up in their playoff performances to almost a ludicrous degree. Prophet, in particular, can play basically any DPS hero and more, and Jester's legendary Winston, as well as his surprisingly strong Orisa play, make him a great fit in what could be very well a bunker-centric meta. Finally, Fury's consistently clutch diva play will be supported by his teammates being on a more comfortable role, and Birdring returning to Widowmaker would allow the London Spitfire to recapture history in Stage 4. Our top spot on this list, however, would have to go to the Shanghai Dragons. With the Dragons' dominance in Stage 3 playoffs playing hardly any goats, it's hard to make a case for anyone else being the top team going into Stage 4. While there may well be holes in the hero pool of the Shanghai Dragons, they aren't immediately apparent, and the Dragons have managed to defeat virtually any challenge thrown to them. Ding, Youngjin, and Diem are all outstanding DPS players in their own right, with Ding wielding Sublime Pharah and Somber play, Youngjin with a very respectable projectile play on all of his hero pool, and Diem rivaling Carpe on his entire hero pool. Additionally, with a 2-2-2 lock, both Gregory and Envy will probably come off the bench at some point, giving them two very confident off-tank players to choose from. Finally, Gamzu has quietly established himself as a vital leader to the team with quality play on all the main tank heroes. Overall, Shanghai looks bulletproof going into Stage 4, and we cannot wait to see how they do. For more Overwatch League news and videos, be sure to like, subscribe, and smash that bell icon. From our house to yours, thanks for watching.